It's Monday, so let's mint mask. Well, the origin of this thought is pretty unique. I was recently in a public restroom. I had stopped to refill my car and needed to go to the restroom. So as I was in this very well kept, very clean restroom, I noticed as I was washing my hands, remember, let's all wash our hands. As I was washing my hands, I noticed something that disappointed me. It brought to my mind the words of one great R. McKinney. His name is abbreviated to protect his identity. R. McKinney says this: you can't have nothing nice. Well, in this very nice, very well kept, very clean restroom, there was a small black graffiti of some sort, initials maybe, probably of some sort. And I thought to myself, in the words of Mr. McKinney, you can't have nothing nice. And it made me stop and think about this individual who I will never know who it is. But I thought about this in their minds, in his mind, I assume, is how they want to leave their mark on the world. And I thought to myself, what a low budget way to leave a mark. And so tonight I want to visit with you just a few minutes about leaving our mark on the world. I read an article recently on Inc.com, and it was 50 habits to leave your mark. And got to thinking about this. We are all leaving our own mark. Now, unlike this gentleman, we're not defacing private property just to leave some unreadable graffiti or mark in a men's restroom. But we all are leaving a mark somewhere. And the question I want to consider is this: what kind of mark are we leaving? And do we accurately and consistently, let me back up. Are we leaving the mark that we really hope to leave? Now think about this. A real short walk to this question is this: what do people most think of you when they hear your name, when they see you? What are you known for? Now, there's a lot of things, and there's a lot of really good things, and then there's a lot of things, well, that might need to be revisited. Now, let's think about this. Leaving a healthy mark, one, is intentional. There's very few things of value that we do unintentionally. Now, I'm not talking about the sporadic hero act, but I mean the things in life that we just kind of let go and let happen. Those things can and often will turn out poorly. Dietary habits, of which I need to consider, right? Relational attitudes, actions, all these things. If you aim at nothing, that's exactly what you're going to hit. And so much like this vandal, he was at least intentional in what he did. You know how I know that? Well, one is he had a symbol that he wanted to mark. And two, this cat went to the restroom with a permanent marker. He was at least intentional and prepared. But if you want to leave a good mark, you have to be intentional about it. And that means you have to give thought to it. That means you have to be committed to it. It means you have to be consistent to it. Secondly, a really good mark, a really respectable mark, is one that is usually self-second centered. You say, what does that mean, Jimmy? That means this: a mark that really impacts, a mark that lasts, a mark that inspires, typically is self-second. You know, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of self-second people, and the one that comes to mind just right off the top of my head is Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, in her younger years, came from a family of significant influence and wealth. But when she saw the need and she saw the opportunity, she abandoned everything that was hers by birth and by law, and she became a self-second individual. And if there is any doubt that Mother Teresa left a lasting mark on our world, there is no doubt. She most certainly did. And then thirdly, if we want to leave a mark that is lasting, it has to be something that is desirous and beneficial to be duplicated. If we want to leave a mark that matters, we need to leave a mark that people would desire and benefit from duplicating. Now, this young man really considered himself to be, I don't know what he considered himself to be, as he quickly pulled out his black permanent marker from his jeans to make this mark in his otherwise pristine public restroom. And he left it behind thinking, well, I've really left something for the world, when in truth, all he left was an eyesore, and all he left was a middle-aged man thinking, we can't have anything nice. If you and I want to make a real mark in our world, and if the Lord tarries his return and the world carries on, we'll leave a mark, because there's a few things in life that are certain, and death is one of them. But if we want to leave a mark that is valuable, that is motivational, it has to be intentional. It has to be self-second in attitude and nature, and it has to be something that is desirous and beneficial to be duplicated. What's your mark? What does the world think of you? What do people think of you or say about you when you're not around? My friends, that can be some real telling testimony. What do we put in social media? Do you realize that what we're putting in social media, including Mint Mask with a Message, is permanent? Your children will see it. Your grandchildren will see it. Everyone can see it. Is what we're putting the mark we really want to leave? And if not, well, let's be intentional. Let's change that mark. Let's be more about others instead of self first. And let's live a life and make a mark that people will want to duplicate and the world would value in its duplication. I want to leave a mark that makes a difference. I want to leave a mark that encourages other people to follow in my footsteps as I follow in the footsteps of Christ. I hope that's your desire. So go out there and make your mark, and make it a good mark. As always, let me say thank you for your most precious gift to me, your time. I pray that you have a great week. I pray that if it's the Lord's will, you'll return and join me again next week for Mint Mask with a Message. But until then, please be healthy and be a part of the solution, not part of the problem.